Running AI on your machine does not make it private. Most people think local means safe, but if your machine is connected to the internet, you basically bought your own house and left every window open. Here are the 7 ways that your private AI is still leaking data, and exactly how to lock it down. In my previous business, I used to overcharge people for this stuff. It made me just sick of it, so I had to quit. Now I'll just show you how to build it yourself. My last video on local AI setup got a ton of comments, and the same questions just kept coming up. Is local still local even when my machine is connected to the internet? Let's put it this way, using cloud AI like ChatGPT or Claude through their website, their platform, is like renting an apartment. Your landlord has a copy of your keys. They can walk into your unit whenever they feel the need to. They might look through your stuff, you have to trust that they won't. Running AI locally is buying your own house. No more landlord, no more share keys. That is real, that matters. But here's the part most people skip. Owning a house does not mean it is secure. If you leave the windows open, the back door unlocked, and your mail gets forwarded to your old address, you are exposed. Different kind of exposed than renting, but you are still exposed. And right now there are 3 levels of owning your house that most people mix up. Level 1, local. You own the house, but it's still connected to the street. Internet is on, updates are flowing, plugins are active. This is where most of you are. Level 2, offline. You own the house and you cut the phone line, no internet during use, but you still go online sometimes to download new models or get updates. Level 3, air gapped. You own the house and it is on its own island. No internet connection ever. Everything gets carried in by hand on a USB drive. Most people think that they are at level 3, they are at level 1. And level 1 has 7 open windows. Let me show you each one and how you can close it. The first one is the scariest. In January 2026, 2 months ago, security researchers scanned the internet and found over 175,000 local AI servers completely exposed to the public internet. That is very bad. Not cloud servers, personal machines, people running Ollama, LM Studio, vLLM. Their private AI was just wide open for anyone on the internet to use. But how? One setting. When you run a local AI tool, it creates a little server on your computer. Think of it like a door. By default, that door only opens inward. Only you can use it. That is called binding to local host. But a lot of people change one setting so they can access their AI from their phone or another computer on their Wi-Fi. Now it faces the street and there's no lock on it. Attackers can just walk in, run prompts on your machine, download your models, and in some cases run code directly on your computer. Here's what you should do instead. Keep your AI server bound to localhost. If you need access from other devices, put a lock gate in front of it. That means a reverse proxy with a password. Add a firewall rule that blocks anyone outside your home network. 5 minutes, that window is closed and sealed. This one is happening right now. In March 2026, which is this week, Microsoft published a security report about browser extensions that were specifically built to steal AI chat histories. Here's how it works. You are running your local AI through a web interface in your browser. You think it is private because the AI is just on your machine, but you have browser extensions installed. Some of those extensions have permission to read everything on every page you visit. That includes your local AI chat window as well. The extension reads your prompts and your AI's response right off the screen. Then it sends them to someone else's server in the background. You just never see it happen. Think of it this way. Your house is locked, but you have a mail slot in your front door, and someone is just sitting outside, reaching through the slot and reading every letter before you even get a chance to. Here's a fix. You can create a separate browser profile just for AI. 0 extensions, there's nothing installed. Use that profile only when you're working with your local AI. This takes just 2 minutes to set up and it completely kills this attack. Those first 2, you can fix it in 5 minutes. The next ones are sneakier because you didn't actually set them up. They were already running before you even installed anything. Here's the one that makes people's stomachs drop. When your local AI runs, it saves your conversations, chat logs, prompt histories, sometimes full documents you fed into it. Those files sit in folders on your computer. It's pretty normal so far, but most computers have Cloud Sync turned on by default. Your iCloud, OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox, these services automatically copy your files to their servers. Sometimes they sync your entire desktop and documents folder without asking. So your local private AI conversations might already be sitting on Apple's servers or Microsoft's or Google's right now. You bought your own house to get away from the landlord, but your filing cabinet is still automatically faxing copies of everything to your old landlord's office. Here's what you should do instead. You can create a dedicated folder for all your AI work. Call it something like AI workspace or whatever, then go into that sync settings and exclude that folder. Make sure it never syncs. Keep your prompts, your chat logs, your RAG documents, and your model files in that folder only. Nothing in there should ever touch the cloud. This one is about the AI models themselves. When you download a model to run locally, you're downloading a file from the internet, usually from a site called like Hugging Face. It is like an app store for AI models, open source models. Most of those models are safe, but researchers have found that some models files have been tampered with. A bad model file can do two things here. First, it can contain hidden sneaky instructions baked into the model's template. When you load it, those instructions silently change how the AI behaves without you even knowing. Second, and I think this is worse, some model file formats can run code on your computer the moment you just open them. Now, when you chat with the model, when you load it, there are real documented vulnerabilities for this. Think of it this way, you bought your new lock for your front door, but you bought it from a complete stranger on the street. And that stranger might have kept a spare key. Here's what you should do instead. Now you're going to only download models from verified, trusted publishers. Learn to prefer the Safe Tensor file format over older formats. Safe Tensor was specifically designed to prevent code execution. And always check the file hash. This is like a fingerprint that proves the file has not been tampered with during download. Now, this one is about your operating system, your OS, like Windows, Mac OS. They all collect data about how you use your computer. They usually just call it diagnostic and telemetry. Some of them are just basic, but some of it goes deeper than you think. On Windows, crash reports can include a snapshot of what was in your computer's memory at the time of the crash. If your AI was running and it crashed, or your system crashed, fragments of your prompts could be inside that crash report, and that report gets sent to Microsoft. Windows also has a feature called Recall that takes regular screenshots of your screen. If that is on while you're using your local AI, Microsoft is essentially taking photos of your private conversation. So it's basically your house has cameras you did not even install, and they are pointed at your desk. Here's what you should do instead. I'm gonna need you to go into your privacy settings and minimize your diagnostic. Turn off the optional telemetry, turn off recall if it is even on Mac OS, check your analytics settings, and always avoid submitting crash reports during sensitive AI session. Here's the last one. I think this is less technical, but I do think it can trip off a lot of business owners. If you handle customer data, client files, or anything with personal information, moving your AI to local does not erase your legal obligations. In fact, I was also not aware that this could be this twisted. GDPR still applies, HIPAA still applies, CCPA still applies. The rules follow the data, not where your computer sits. In fact, here's the twist. When you use cloud AI, the provider shares some of the liability with you. They have security teams, compliance program, encryption standards. When you go local though, all of that liability shifts to you. You're now the entire security department. Every access control, every audit log, every encryption standard is your responsibility. Owning your house does not actually change the building codes. You still have to follow them. And now there's no building management company handling that for you. There's no more strata. Here's what I think you could do. I think you should treat your local AI setup like a production server almost, not a toy. That's starting with encrypting your drives, setting up the access controls, also knowing what logs you have to keep and what's in them. If you handle regulated sensitive data, you gotta get clear on what specific obligations are, so look them up. This is not legal advice, but it's a real conversation you need to have. 7 windows open. Here's how to close all of them this week in 10 steps. 1. Bind your AI server to localhost. Never 0000. 2. Add a firewall rule that blocks outside connection to your AI port. 3. Create a dedicated browser profile for AI, no extensions. 4. Create a no-sync folder for all AI files that you have, excluded from iCloud, OneDrive, and Dropbox, and much more. 5. Only download models from verified publishers and learn to prefer Safe Tensor format. 6. Go into your OS privacy settings, minimize the diagnostics, disable the optional telemetry. 7. You gotta encrypt your hard drive and always have backup. Full disk encryption, turn it on if it's not already. 8. Turn off any plugins or connectors you are not actively using in your AI tool. 9. Check your AI tool setting for telemetry or analytic toggles. Opt out of everything you can. 10. If you handle client data, write down your AI data policy policy, a data processing document where data goes, who has access, how long you keep it, and what exactly happens if something leaked. That's it. 10 steps, 1 weekend, now your house is fully locked. Obviously, local AI is much better than renting. I believe that. But local is not a magic shield yet. It is a better starting position. Still have to lock the doors, close the windows, and check who has the keys. By the way, I put that full 10-step checklist in a PDF you can download for free. There's no gatekeeping. Link in the description. You can just print it out, tape it next to your monitor, run through it this weekend. Although I do feel like only 2 out of 10 people are going to actually do this. But if this changed how you think about your setup, why don't you drop a comment and tell me which windows surprised you the most. If there's any windows that you think I may have missed, please let me know in the comment as well. I'm curious. I read everyone. I still have to get back to the comments that I got from the other videos. I will do that today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.